I'd like to hear your view on the key challenges and opportunities in doing exactly that and fostering innovative financing models in the region where you work.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks very much to the government of Qatar and to Education Above All for this invitation. It's a really great honor to be here and represent a region that is a little bit far away. And I'm very pleased and honored to join the stage with this distinguished set of panelists and moderator and the audience. So before talking about perhaps the innovative financing instruments that the Inter-American Development Bank is trying to deploy in this area, let me talk about something that was touched upon from the previous panel. So credible development impact we need to seek with this innovative financing. So the reality is in Latin America and the Caribbean, you have almost beside 80, all middle and middle-high income countries. Okay? And they made a big effort in expanding investment in education last 20 years, going from around 3% of GDP of public expenditure, of public investment in health to around 4.6. Now the issue also, Safa has mentioned, is that we put a lot of emphasis on access, but we forgot, or we were not so systematic in putting emphasis on outcome of learning. And that is our biggest challenge. If you think about in the region, in Latin America and the Caribbean region, 75% of kids age 15 don't meet basic competencies in math, and 55 in reading. And if you look at a very unequal region to the poorest kids, the most vulnerable, 88% don't make basic proficiencies in math. So we need to spend more, for sure, but we need to spend much better. And there where the credibility of development project comes in. Let me tell you 3 areas where we are, as Inter-American Development Bank, we are working very, very intensively. On 3 things that one would imagine by the 21st century would be solved. First, allocation formulas. In such an unequal country, you really need to make sure the resources get to the poorer kids and poor schools. And there is a lot to do on allocation formula inside countries. Second, our main assets is teachers, right? We need to improve pre-service education and service education. But then we need also to learn how to allocate teachers to the right schools. So, for example, we're working with the government of Ecuador and Peru to have a digital platform and algorithm for allocation of teachers based on preference, needs, and performance. And just in Ecuador, the reallocation of teachers, or the best teacher to some of the worst schools, has created in just 1 year a net impact of $17 million for the increase in learning you get among the poorest. And the third area is management information system to really monitor how budget are allocated at the district and the school level and how budget is spent. I wouldn't jump on any plane without instruments. I just flew 14 hours. And sometimes we jump on this education system, they're flying completely blind. So these are 3 areas where we're really working in order to then attract innovative financing with development impact. I'm going to go to the second round, to the innovative financing.
Perfect. So turning back to you then, how does the Inter-American Development Bank then collaborate with other stakeholders to ensure efficiency in spending, but also adequacy and effectiveness at the same time?
I want to pick up on what Safa just said. This year, the IDB is leading the heads of MDB network. And my president said we need to work as a system, and I think we are really walking the talk. Partnerships are essential, particularly for regional bank that works with middle-high income countries. We don't have a lot of concessional funding. So let me give you 3 or 4 examples of innovative financing instruments, and I think Dr. Pupetto already spoke in the first panel about one of them. So for most vulnerable countries like Haiti, where we are working, partnership has been essential, and the role that Education Above All has played with the GPE, with the multiplier plus the grant of IDB, allow us this year to put together a package of $55 million. this is 3 times what the IDB have put in, against individual plans. Then let's speak about market-based debt swap. I'm not going to go too much in details because in the first panel we already talked about. IDB has been part with the policy guarantee of the Ecuador debt swap for conservation, but also in Belize and Barbados. And we are preparing 2 other deals, again, one in Ecuador and one in Barbados. Now, I hear a lot the health and education community say we can do that too. But I think there is something we need to crack. We need to put education priority at least as high as the climate change. Because politically, even for country, it's better to say they have a debt swap for conservation for climate. It's not so fancy to say they have a debt swap for education and health. And that is an issue that, as a development community, we need to address. And the third instrument, I think also Safa already mentioned, is we are open for business, for institutional investors. They want to sell guarantees to the IDB so that we can multiply our lending envelope. Now, multiplying the lending envelope is not enough because there is high debt and therefore limited absorption capacity. So we are also looking for philanthropies that donor can associate a concessional part to that. And finally, as I say, and Safa already mentioned, this year is the first year of implementation of an MOU with the World Bank, has been particularly important in Latin America, not just for the financing, but also for the knowledge part. And the same we are pursuing with the Islamic Development Bank because we have overlapping areas, Guyana and Suriname.